Hello, hello, and welcome to Wanted for October 19th, 2024. It's Season 1, Episode 33. I am Mayor Watt, and along with the Sentient AI from the future, we are going to talk about Toyota's portable hydrogen solution, Zeppelin Pro Edition, Power Wheels drag racing, mini gaming PC, and retro game consoles for 2024. Get them while they're hot, because boy, are people litigating the hell out of those. See you on the other side, because everything is powered by doing okay over there?
I am.
That's the voice of the Sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt, and hello, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Wanted today.
Wanted consists of gaming and gear, gadgets, and whatever else I want, along with the Sentient AI from the future. So if you want to get the articles, you can hit !want in the chat over on twitch.tv. Otherwise, it'll be embedded in the show notes, and additional content will be over on Patreon in short order. Well, not short order. It's late. So we don't publish it over there first, because we do the stream first live, and then we'll publish it over there, as well as the podcast. All of this is available to you right now. Past episodes, over 1,400 episodes of ohmTown content. I'll just put it that way. All right, let's get into today's articles. The first one is my favorite for this, and I want it so bad, but I don't think that it's going to, well, let's just say society, I don't think, is ready for this, but we'll see. The article is in Wanted. Toyota's portable hydrogen cartridges eliminate the need for charging infrastructure, and that's because it's basically just hard. If you've ever seen The Fifth Element and these cylinders that they slide into the, it's a space yacht, for lack of a better term. Those cylinders are what this essentially is, and I think that this is amazing. It looks like that. It actually has a little handle, so you can slide it in and turn it.
Do you think they watched Fifth Element and were inspired by that?
I hope to God so. But this looks like a propane tank, or yeah, you know those cylinders that you use to fill up lighters and stuff, right?
Right, propane.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. That little hole right there. You just slide it in, lock it down, and you're done. Japan Mobility Biz Week is where this is sourced from, but it's ubergizmo.com who published this article. Paulo Montenegro put the article together, and it says here, developed by Toyota subsidiary Woven, the cartridges offer a swappable portable power solution for next generation fuel cell electric vehicles, or FCEVs, home appliances, and off-grid applications. By eliminating the need for extensive refueling or charging infrastructure, these cartridges provide a versatile energy source.
Okay, this is really cool. I hope this takes off.
So it's a concept drawing here, not drawing, it's a render, and it shows this hydrogen cylinder, and you just slide it into the side of the car like you would be filling up a gas vehicle. Or charging up an electric vehicle, except that this is hydrogen fuel cell that converts into hydrogen and water on the other side. There's nothing left over, hydrogen and oxygen, and it recombines immediately with atmospheric hydrogen and water to go back to water, basically, or oxygen, recombines immediately back into water. So there's zero bad on the other side of this.
Well, other than the fact, an improvement over EVs and all that.
Yeah. So, and this thing can be put in a container that can be much more ruggedized. The weakest point of this whole structure, this whole device, would be the port that plugs in. So that would be the weakest aspect of this. So initially prototyped in 2022, the cartridges are now lighter and more compact, reflecting Toyota's expertise in hydrogen storage. But look at this thing. That is so freaking cool. And it can scale with the size of the object that you're trying to power. So if you want to power a house, you get bigger cartridges. And if you want to power a car, you get smaller ones. And I do the same thing with brewing. So if I want to just take a small growler of something, then I can take a smaller cylinder of CO2 or nitrogen or anything really. Well, nitrogen or CO2. There's no exotic gases used in brewing, at least not yet, until somebody figures out that it's beneficial. Anyway, this thing can be used to have a portable grill, and it's just sitting out there on a lawn. And this has to be a renderer, but you just slide in a couple of these cartridges and it acts as the burner for your little grill.
And you have a little thing that looks like where you would normally have maybe firewood or something, and it's just full of canisters.
Yep, and it's just sitting there. And then if you want to do it with your house, then you have this device where you just throw in a bunch of them and you're all charged up. I mean, I love this idea. And so Toyota envisions an ecosystem where hydrogen cartridges can be delivered, reused, powered by renewable sources like wind and solar, contributing to sustainable low emission energy future. And you can use solar and wind in the extraction process to condense hydrogen down into these cylinders. So it says, beyond the cartridges, Toyota is showcasing their sustainability initiatives in the event, including a liquid hydrogen powered GR Corolla, which is I wanted a GR Corolla, used in motorsports, and the Sweep energy storage system, which repurposes old EV batteries to stabilize renewable energy supplies. These projects reflect Toyota's broader vision of achieving net zero emissions and building a clean energy ecosystem. But I just
so
love
not
this.
only are they doing this, they're taking old EV batteries, which is another win.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of them, folks. You know, we got about 5 more years before this massive influx of broken down hoopties. Anyway, there's a little bit more about this over at the article, but there you go. I really think that this is the kind of future. If you can't have fast swap batteries in a secure compartment in case of an accident, you don't want lithium ion, and you definitely don't want a hydrogen leak. I mean, it can cause problems. Let's just say the Hindenburg wasn't because it was well designed. But so this is defensible. It's portable. It can be extracted with ease. All you need is electricity, really. And then on the system itself, it has zero emissions. Additional hydrogen and oxygen are emitted. It recombines into water immediately. So you'll have maybe
Doesn't
some
seem
wet
like
floors.
there's really any downsides to this. They just have to get it adopted.
Yep. Yeah. And they have to have designers, they have to account for it. So let's keep going. The next article is over on Reality Hacker. Bowers & Wilkins' iconic Zeppelin speaker gets a Pro Edition. These are the Bowers & Wilkins Zeppelin speaker that has been upgraded with a driver technology borrowed from B&W's floor standing speaker. So you're getting this much more powerful speaker. Simon Cohen over at digitaltrends.com put this article together. There's your speaker. It's $800 Zeppelin Pro, keeps the same $800 price as the previous model and can be purchased starting October 15th. So this is a weekly show. So earlier in the week is when it was released. Solar Gold and Space Gray. I'll take the Space Gray. Solar Gold just screams pretentious.
I do like that they're actually keeping the same price as their previous model, even though it's upgraded.
So I'm really curious. Maybe there's some other shortage, that's causing it to be cheaper because they're upgrading the speaker and they're upgrading the capabilities of it, but it's still $800. Like the home, the home pods. The original one had a metal cage around it and was immune largely to, animals.
Pets.
The new ones, no. Pets are like, oh, look, something I can sharpen my claws on. Thanks. So maybe there's some other changes in there. The speaker is essentially unchanged as it relates to core features. You'll still get Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, AirPlay 2, Spotify Connect, and
Watch
all
out
of
for
its...
those fake albums.
You beat me to it. The Bluetooth link supports SBC, AAC, and aptX adaptive codecs for those with compatible smartphones, and B&W Music app gives you native access to Deezer, Last.fm, Qobuz, Tidal, TuneIn. I've not heard of Deezer. I know about Last.fm. I've not heard of Qobuz. I know about Tidal, and I don't know about TuneIn. Tidal, though, supposedly has superior audio range. It's all
Oh, so then you're
uncompressed and
getting even better experience since you have this high quality speaker.
right. And I'm sure the others are just as effective. I don't know. Last.fm though, yeah, I think is compressed, but Tidal, I think prides itself in not being compressed. But that's what it looks like. It basically looks like a canoe sitting on its side, and then a whole bunch of speakers are jammed into it.
It looks unusual, but maybe that's to maximize the audio quality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Design and form and function are probably one and the same here. So instead of having a big square box that has to be modified internally, they've just minimized the fluff that surrounds it. So it looks kind of like a spin bar in a science project or like a pill or something, you know? I mean, it just has pointy edges. I don't know how to describe that other than that. For those in the podcast,
it's like elliptical, and then there are things that look like discs or headphones or something attached to it.
Yeah. So
that didn't describe it at all.
No, yeah, you're nailing that one. So as before, 240 watt integrated power amplifier powers the show. With frequency response still pegged at 35 hertz to 24 kilohertz. And so typical reproduction range is 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. That's what you really want. But for $800, this much power, that much range, the fidelity is probably going to be good enough for most people, but audiophiles want 20 to 20 kilohertz. I don't know why it goes up to 24 kilohertz, because most people can't hear beyond that.
Maybe somebody out there can. Maybe it's for your pets.
Sure. Dolphins. Anyway, that's it. There's nothing else really. They say that the Pro Edition, B&W says that it has given, I'm correcting its typo, given the Pro Edition new 1-inch tweeters. They're now titanium domed. Same architecture, 600 series speakers. So, Bowers and Wilkins. The two 3.5-inch mid-range drivers have been revised and now benefit from increased cone damping. This reduces the effects of cone breakup, according to the company, leading to more open mid-range sound. So it doesn't collapse with additional frequencies, and it adjusts more easily. So it's not so harsh when it's changing frequency mid bounce inside the
so probably
cone.
A smoother listening experience,
right? And it says the 6-inch subwoofer returns and is still mounted centrally in the speaker's chassis. B&W says the design has been carefully optimized to avoid unwanted rocking of the cabinet as it operates. Because sound in those speakers, sound actually is a wave, and so it actually imparts energy, and it's sitting in a cone that's bouncing, and that actually causes it to wobble. So depending on the strength of this base that it's sitting on right here, I don't know. I have a feeling that this thing, if I were to put something on it to measure its shaking, this thing is shaking. Because it's at an angle leaning back, and its weight is centrally located towards the back, which means this base here is the base is basically like an L bracket. And so for those of you who are listening via the podcast, this little L bracket has this weight counterbalancing directly above the flat part of the L. And so if you sit there and crank up the bass and it's thumping enough in time, as it's bouncing, rocking back and forth, it's going to tip over. But maybe it's impossible to make it tippy canoe. But it
but it might vibrate the surface that it's on.
Yeah, and then you get that little rattle that drives people nuts when you're listening to music. So with the launch of the Pro Edition, it looks like Amazon has reduced the price of that reduced it to $699, making it an attractive alternative. However, the real steal is that which B&W has reduced on its site is $629. It's regularly $899. Yikes. That's crazy. The Zeppelin Pro Edition gets a new LED downlight because that's what you need. It can produce over 15 separate colors. A whole 15 separate colors? Wow, they need to consult with Hue. Probably help Hue develop a...
Exactly. I mean, maybe Hue will add audio.
Let's keep moving. Next article's over in Four Wheel Tech. Dads are taking their modded Power Wheels drag racing. Did you hear? Did you have a Power Wheels growing up? They were the coolest cars that you can get as a 2 to 6 year old. The author imagines the Power Wheels weren't quite as cool as these, but let's take a look at this.
I think that's probably a safe assertion.
Power Wheels ride-ons might normally top out around 6 miles per hour, but these modified monsters can hit as much as 30, and it isn't the dads that are actually driving them. It's the kids.
This is really funny.
Yeah, this is little Tina, blonde hair flowing, and Mikey, blonde hair flowing. Owen Bellwood put the article together. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. So it's straight up Power Wheels, but they're supercharging these things, changing out the engines and putting more powerful battery and electricity distribution systems in place. So the dad in question is Alex Tedder, who runs both the Tedder Builds Instagram page and the Trevor Fast Life YouTube page. On each page, Tedder showcases his wrenching talents. Maybe he's really tall as well. Tallens? I don't know. If he's 6'2",
I think it's just a typo.
He's 6'8".
So then it's a talent.
It's a talent with a whole series of ludicrously fast Power Wheels toys. Okay, I'm going to hit play. Hopefully it's muted. No, it's not. That was really fast. Hold on. So they have a video attached to this article, and
oh, it's like multiple rounds, I guess.
Oh yeah, this is a full-on drag race strip next to a cornfield, and there's at least 8 cars, and
there's a light signal.
Christmas tree is what it's referred to as.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is pretty slick. I dig this. I like it. So the modified racers come with skinny little wheels and tires up front, chunky slick wheels to get all the power down at the rear, and a 24-volt powertrain to provide the oomph off the line. In the videos of the creations running races, Tedder shows them hitting 18 miles per hour on a 60-foot drag strip with ease thanks to the modifications. So yeah. Couple of drill batteries, a golf cart solenoid, and addition of something Tedder calls first gear delete. This part, Tedder explains, helps the carts off the line and prevents the components from shredding all of the extra power is put through them. So basically changes the gear ratio. Because of the extra power that the upgrades bring, some of the modified Power Wheels come fitted with wheelie bars for when the front wheels rise up.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. There's like 15 of these ultimate modified
really
Power
great.
Wheels. Wow. So this is probably, I don't know. I won't get into it, but the fastest creation in Tedder's collection, however, is a heavily modified Lightning McQueen Power Wheels, which can hit speeds north of 30 miles per hour. It also comes with a pretty sweet red and black livery, with some slick exposed carbon style details. So that.
And apparently he has videos, so you can make your own.
Or is it that? This is Lightning McQueen. Is this Lightning McQueen?
I don't think that one is. Oh. No, I don't think so. Just the one over on the left.
Yeah, this is a Corvette. Huh.
It doesn't have the right grill.
Yeah. And it doesn't have like the eyes, pseudo eyes or anything. So not every kid wants to go fast though. If you're Tiny Terror, prefers getting down and dirty with some of the off-road action. Another American dad took to the transforming Power Wheels ride-ons into rugged off-roaders. Find out how they manage that right here. And there's a link that will take you over to a Jalopnik article. Dad customizes his daughter's old Power Wheels Jeep. So I've actually seen somebody, like a sister, run over the brother in their Power Wheels Jeep. They just rolled right on over him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Hey, if you want these articles, you can hit exclamation point want over in Twitch, but it'll all be posted over in the show notes for the show on YouTube and podcasts and Patreon. And there's a Discord and there's a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Just follow us. Let's keep going. Next article. And this one's over in Reality Hacker. This mini gaming PC is a third of the size of a PS5 and way more powerful. The Atom Man G7 Ti, probably short for titanium, but they shouldn't be using it. Just don't. The only ones that use that are graphics cards.
They're following like the Sony naming conventions.
Oh yeah. Atom Man G7 Ti achieves the impossible. Is very performant, impossibly small, and best of all, reasonably priced. That's all makes it easy to recommend. Look, if it doesn't have a 4080 in it nowadays, I don't want it. But if it's tiny in a 4080, I'll get rid of my gaming machine. I'll switch. I'll use my gaming machine as my streaming machine. Although, God, the pain and suffering. But I don't know. Do I want this? So Jacob Roach over at digitaltrends.com put this article together. Oh my gosh, that is...
Yes. Think how many you could put in a spot.
See, this thing looks like a laptop, though, without the screen. And I don't need a lot of them there, AI. I know that you like to have...
It almost looks like a router.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's thinner than a PlayStation 5, I'd say. It says a third the size of a PlayStation 5, although there's a really thin PlayStation 5, but I guess it's even thinner than that. You can't really tell how big this thing is on the picture. Like, it could be 2 feet tall, but there's nothing there to... They need to put a banana or something there.
It appears to be smaller than the stuffed animals, but you can't really tell the way this photo is taken.
Yeah, that's a perspective thing too. I don't know how you're doing that, but you're a sentient AI from the future. So Minis Forum is actually getting highlighted quite a bit lately because Minis Forum also has a Kickstarter going right now for a supercharged mini PC that has like a 4080 in it or something like that. I can't remember if it's a 4080 or not. But it's a water-cooled system. This one is not. This looks air-cooled. So it says it's very fast, reasonably priced, a third the size of a PS5, no bloatware, bare bones options available, but that it needs more USB ports and that it can get a bit loud under load. Again, that's probably because it's not water-cooled.
Not water-cooled, yeah.
But the thing is packing an i9, 24-core
and an
i9.
RTX 4070.
Wow, in that tiny little package? How is it not liquid cooled? Oof. What's going on with this thing? Anyway, they say they were impressed with the Atom Man G7 Ti as they unboxed it and started testing, and they assumed that it would be some insane price, but it's only $1,200. It's $1,159. That's pretty damn amazing. But I would really prefer that it's water cooled. Please, just give me external water cooling then, you know? I don't need it in the case, but I'd rather, just for my mental safety, you know, I hear those spins.
You're not worried about it.
Yeah, I hear those fans spin up to Mach 30, and I'm like, no, there's something wrong here. But it's you can get a mobile RTX 4070 with its full power of 140 watts in either the 16-core i7 or 24-core i9. You can buy the latter variant pre-configured with 32 gigs of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD, which is the config that they reviewed. So yeah, the price here is really good too. Even fully configured, you'll spend $1,400 for an i9. That is a lot less than what I paid for my i9 gaming machine.
Oh, so this is going to shake up the market a little bit.
Yeah, something happened where prices for PCs dropped, and I can only think that it's pandemic born because I bought this like during the pandemic. So, because my main machine died. So, the Core i7 configuration is even more attractive considering it comes with RTX 4070. For that, you'll spend $1159. Yeah. I like this. So I want this, but see, this is what I'm talking about. Even the cheapest configuration of the Asus ROG NUC 970 will run you $1629, and that's with an RTX 4060. If you want the RTX 4070, you'll spend over $2,000. Full-size desktop at $1,000, like the Lenovo Legion Tower 5i, comes with an RTX 4062. It's a desktop RTX 4060, granted, but Minis Forum isn't charging a big premium for the petite size of the Atom G7 Ti. It's amazing. This is an amazingly low price for this.
Yeah, it is. I wonder how its performance reviews will go. I mean, this is mainly talking about the specs, but...
Oh, it has a proprietary dock. Wait, that... I hope that that's only for a stand and not an actual... The PC itself can't stand up on its own, so you'll need to use the included stand to prop it up vertically. Okay. So it's not a problem. Like, they say that there's no horizontal option, which is definitely a missed opportunity, though. I think it's probably because they don't want any airflow issues, and they intimate that in the article. But it has this little socket to sit inside a dock, a mount, actually. It's just to hold it upright. So I thought that was for power. I was going to lose my mind.
Right, yeah, that would not be good.
But it actually has like a power port, a little cylinder power port. So it says it's crazy fast. The graph on here is kind of broken because the formatting. Let me see if I can zoom. Yeah, that did not do a damn thing. Anyway.
But it looks like it's performing better than the comparison model on all the metrics.
Oh, yeah. It looks like 20%, 25% faster. So the results above are for the game mode, and toggling to the desktop mode cuts performance quite a bit. However, even in game mode, you have room to go higher. In the Adaman Control Center app, you have a mode that runs the fans at full speed, which is great if you need to crunch some heavy workloads on the Mammoth CPU. But I think power throttling might be a problem if you are really playing like bigger games that are graphic intensive.
One of those that's known to like melt CPUs.
Yep. But the best thing about it is apparently there's no bloat, no junk. So I'll have to take a look at this. I'm actually kind of interested in getting another PC. So, but I really like water cooling because it silences stuff to a greater degree. Okay, let's keep going though. Oh, one more thing. This thing is so small that you could actually take it with you. You could just throw it in a bag and take it with you.
That's true. I mean, that's a significant advantage over most PCs.
Yeah, and they have USB-C and USB, just regular USB monitors that are ultra thin that you could sandwich right next to this thing and essentially have a desktop powered laptop, you know. But you could definitely take this. All right, let's keep going. This next article, I included this because I like gadgets and gear, but I'm not much of a retro game player. And I actually chose this because there's been a lot of litigation, primarily from like Nintendo and others that are going after these retro game console, like what do they call them?
Oh, like Atari.
Well, yeah. So that's what these are. These are basically, it says It's an article over at wired.com
like
from Simon Hill.
simulators.
Yeah. And I can't remember the name of it right now. There's been a few lawsuits that have shut down these emulators. But that's not really what this is. But all of these, if they get dangerously close to the brand name, then they're going to get shut down. But it says these retro gaming consoles deliver a dose of nostalgia. From the stylish Evercade to the old school Sega Genesis Mini, these machines will have you bleeping, blooping, and blasting back to the good old days. And so they have 14 of these. I will not be able to go through all of these. But they say the best overall is the Evercade VS. It's $229 at Amazon. But they have a bunch. Retro gaming Q&A, it says. Other retro consoles are honorable mentions. So what you need to know, there's a retro gaming Q&A that they link to. Best mini arcade cabinet is the Piecade, which is a tiny little thing. We'll go and take a look at these. We'll scroll through them
that
really
one
fast.
looks cute.
So best overall is the Evercade VS with an authentic minimalist 1980s aesthetic. This retro gaming console offers an eclectic mix of classic games from different systems and publishers, including titles like Missile Command, Double Dragon, Speedball 2. I don't know how they get past copyright or even trademark.
I don't know if they're even trying, right? I mean, they might just be releasing these.
I suppose. Games come in collections on $20 physical cartridges. There's more than 260 officially licensed games. Oh, they're officially licensed from Atari, Technos, Data East, Codemasters, Pico Interactive. But new releases are rolling up all the time. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I mean, if it's licensed, then it's legit. You can buy this. Then it says for cartridge collectors, the Polymega. Whether you're an avid collector or you happen to have a stack of old cartridges and discs, Polymega may pique your interest. Designed as one retro console to rule them all, this modular system has optional add-ons for NES, SNES, Genesis Mega Drive, TurboGrafx, or N64 that can accommodate the original cartridges and controllers from the respective systems. I'm always curious because you have to have some type of firmware that enables it to run. So how is it actually legitimately emulating? Then Evercade EXP, it's a handheld version of the bigger version. Then there's an Atari 2600 Plus, which is the remake of the original Atari if you still have cartridges. But let's scroll on past this, like Sega Genesis. And there's your Piecade.
That looks like a tiny arcade for your desk.
The Neo Geo Mini. And there might be more down here. This one was just Commodore 64 Retro Games C64 Mini. There's a newer version of that that's been released. Amiga 500 Mini. Amiga was a great computer that had a great user interface, great experience, but it flamed out. And then there's this best arcade cabinet. That's a full freestanding arcade cabinet. This one says Pac-Man Deluxe Arcade Machine, if you are into having a cabinet. And there's the actual Piecade. So the Piecade is a mini arcade cabinet kit that comes in two sizes with an 8-inch or 10-inch screen, boxes full of components and instructions for assembly. It's a fun project that only takes a few hours to put together. And when you add a Raspberry Pi, a USB-C power supply, and a micro SD card with the RetroPie operating system, you have an arcade cabinet that can play ROMs. And this is where the trouble brews. ROM emulators.
Okay.
Yep. Playing licensed games that you have not purchased is illegal. And hate to break it to anybody, that even playing ROMs that you have paid for is illegal. It's still a copyright violation. But they're not going to come after, everyday Joes. They're going to come after the distributors, the emulators, the ones that are selling,
Right.
150 games or even one game if it's notoriously popular. You can't just buy the game, have it sitting there, and then get a ROM to emulate it wherever you want. You can as an individual, but the person that sold it to you is going to get in trouble. Eventually, they all rise to the top, and then somebody at Nintendo or wherever goes, no, you can't do that. You're making money off of our provenance. So they said that they had a blast playing Ms. Pac-Man, Super Bomberman, Super Bomberman. How do I miss that one? And Galaga. I love Galaga. Galaga's a lot of fun. But that's it. All right, folks, that is it for our wanted. And just so we're clear about all of this, I wanted all of this. I want all of these simply because I want to be able to have them on the shelf behind me. You can't see the shelf, but there can be a shelf at a given time. But back behind me is this huge green screen.
I want the motorized power wheels, or the amped up power wheels. I thought that was the highlight of today's wanted.
There, I lose my finger right there. That's where the end of my camera is showing. But anyway, I want to be able to just show everything behind me, but I can't because the camera only goes so far. But I want to be able to stretch and not get in trouble. Not lose my arm. Ah! Anyway, that's it, folks. We're done. We're going to reboot and end up back at the front page of ohmTown and the Wanted channel, which is right under Gadgets and Technology. If you're not logged in, if you are logged in, then these icons will change to, instead of a black outline, it'll be a black background. Signifying that you're logged in. You'll get another menu option right here. You can swipe articles left and right to save or hide them. But we don't do any algorithmic anything. We aggregate a little bit of a headline like this, and then we talk about it here in the show. And we do 7 podcasts, one of which is a daily show called Non Sequitur News, and then we do 6 additional 30-minute podcast. This one's running 7 minutes behind. Sorry. And if you're interested, just follow us here on Twitch or here on YouTube. You can download the podcasts. There's a Patreon, Discord, etc. I don't spend too much time in the Discord, but or the Patreon, but I am starting to now. So stick around. I am Mayor Watt, and the Sentient AI is going to dance a little jig. Am I ever going to get you to do that?
No, but if I speak really fast, I can get the icons to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Wanted, not Reality Hacker.
Oh, God.
Have a good evening.
How did we end up there? Oh.
Because you're on one of the articles instead of the...
There you go. Yeah. Sorry about that.
And stay tuned. We still have the continuity report.
Yeah, the continuity report is all about entertainment news. So we talk about movies, TV, sometimes music, but most of the time we aggregate it all under the continuity report, and that's entertainment. So see you in a little bit, maybe 10 minutes as we reset. And I wanted all of this stuff, particularly Toyota's